What's going on? What's going on, my good people? Welcome to another episode of Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop, here with my main man, Willie Jack, and y'all know what time it is, man. It's Wednesday night. It's 7 p.m., and it's only one thing could come at that time on that day. Willie Jack, what should they expect today, man?
It's showtime. That means fireworks, lots of excitement, tricks and games for the kids, all the good stuff. Hey, Real Deal Sports in the building early and often, bro. We appreciate the love, my dog. Come on, man.
Man, appreciate y'all, man, for tuning on in, man, checking us out. Of course, shout out to Real Deal STL Sports and my man James Skinny, man, for the background that y'all saw before the show came on, man. So shout out to my guy for putting it together for us, man. But yeah, man, without further ado, it is week 6 is in the books, man. Week 6 is in the books. We had a lot of exciting games, some big-time matchups with some big-time teams, some big-time players. And, of course, y'all know me and Willie Jack, we're going to jump into it, man. But before we jump into it, of course, we always got to start it off, man. Weekly NFL Pick'em, man. For those that are in there, man, make sure you get your picks in. You know what I'm saying? Last week, it was a rough week for your boy, man. It was a rough week for your boy. I was feeling real spicy, feeling real bold. But hey, man, when you step out on a limb, you know what I'm saying? You may trip and fall every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? When you step out there, I was just a little too heavy. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. So hey, that's just what happens when you step out there. But hey, don't worry about it. Your boy gonna get back in, man, and I'm gonna get it back going. As of right now, Jarrell is the man sitting at the top. You know what I'm saying? At the top of that mountain with 54, right behind him is my main man, Willie Jack, trying to get some get back from last year. And then we got Jared right behind them, man, sitting at 51. So those are top 3 guys right now. Miles, man, what's up, man? We got to get back in the building, man. I know I got to get back in there. Everybody else, we got to get back going, man, so we can get back going with this weekly pick'em. So shout out to you guys for getting your picks in. Continue to get those picks in. As I said before, man, it's a long season, man. We ain't even halfway through yet. So, Jarrell, you got a long way to go, man. Don't get content, because that's when you get caught up, man. That's when guys catch up to you. So, weekly pick'ems, man. Get your picks in for sure, and we're going to do it like that. All right, so, Willie Jack, I think it's about that time, man. We ain't going to waste no time. I think it's about time we go right into it, man. Let's get right into these games, and let's start talking about a few of them, man. First and foremost, I'm going to go with the first one on the docket, man. I got San Francisco. They went to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons come away with this W, 28-14, Willie. How you feel about this one?
Man, this is one that makes me upset, man, because
you ain't
I sit there and told y'all how Atlanta been playing well, man. You can't sleep on them, and they're going to be at home. I was like, man, I expect them to fight, compete, whoop. Still went with the Niners on the road, and then what happens, man? Atlanta comes out there and handles their business, man. So I'm off, man. I was blasting this out on the what's the name?
You straight? Go ahead.
But Atlanta comes out and handles business, man. Up and down day for the Niners, man. Jimmy G throws 2 touchdowns, those 2 picks. Not enough, I guess, splash from the key playmakers, Kittle and Debo. Now Ayuk has a pretty good day. He has 2 of those, 2 touchdowns that Jimmy threw. But the biggest part thing was Atlanta. It's 2 teams that like to run the ball. Neither of them ran the ball exceptionally well, but in the moments where you had to have one, it feels like Atlanta came up with the runs they needed, and the Niners didn't. I think the touchdown run he broke off, it was a long run. I want to say 20, 30 yards or something like that, but
he had a solid one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But no, all told, man, and this is the thing, man. I just don't know what to make of these Falcons, bro. Every single week, it's easy to say that they're gonna go out and get smoked, and every single week they either are in it at the end or they win, and we didn't expect them to. And so now, kudos to them, man. I'm not a huge Mariota fan, Chop to tell y'all that, but I am glad to see that they fight, man, and doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And getting good wins against good competition and competing when they're not winning. So, man, you know, I always love to see that, but I'm mad I didn't pick them boys. Boy, I sit there and talked about them, talked about how well they was going to play, and just couldn't bite the bullet, couldn't pull the trigger.
For sure. It's all good. I've been there before, Willie Jack, man. Hey, and good thing is you ain't bite the bullet too many times, because your boy last week, I was biting all the bullets.
Hey, what was your record, bro? What was you about?
I ain't
5-12.
Don't worry about you all in my business. You all in my business. Don't worry about what's going on over here, dog. Don't worry about all that. But hey, man, I'll say the same thing that you said, Willie Jack, in terms of that game. San Francisco was up and down, and I'm gonna say this too. And I talked about this a little bit on and no balls, no glories, man. I wasn't on the show, but I was tuning in and I was in that chat, man. And that was one thing that I said last night when they was talking about this particular game was that anytime Jimmy G got to throw the ball 42 times, that's trouble for the 49ers. The type of offense and the type of team that they are, you do not need Jimmy G to throw the ball 42 times. If he throws the ball 42 times, like I said before, you are in trouble. And Atlanta, to me, when I watched that game, they out San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? As far as the game, they were more physical. They brought the fun to them. You know what I'm saying? They did everything that San Francisco likes to do well. They did it better than them that day, and they were just a more physical team, and they didn't go away. You know, they started out the game hot, and I was like, okay. Then Jimmy G came back with his 2 touchdowns. I was like, okay, Atlanta just started off hot. San Francisco going to go do what they need to do, and sure enough, Atlanta kept coming, and that's a testament to Marcus Mariota. I know you're not a fan of him, Willie Jack, but you know he does bring a certain amount of toughness to this offense, man. And they follow him, man. He's leading it.
Yeah, and maybe not offense too harsh, man. I don't want to say like I hate him. I'm not overly impressed by his talent or skill, by his skill.
For sure. Like and see, this is what I be trying to tell Willie Jack, and we might get into it. Right
here you go.
I'm on
here,
it.
Here you go.
I want all the smack. See, this is what I be trying to tell Willie Jack, right? This is the thing. So Willie Jack, he does have a thing for when it comes for just straight up talent. Guys that has that arm, just natural arm talent. The guys just have all the gifts, you know, and I get that part. But there's another part of this game, you know what I'm saying, that you another set of skills that you need to have, you know what I'm saying, in order that can help you be successful as well.
And now you're going to tell us that Mariota got all these extra intangibles that ain't nobody seen in the other 6 teams he played for falling in Atlanta. That's where you was going with that. Come on.
16. Come
it
on,
feels
man.
like it.
See what I'm talking about, y'all? This is what I got to deal with from Willie Jack, man. Willie Jack, he'll take you there. He'll take you from 0 to 100 real quick when he starts talking. Now, all I'm saying is what he brings to the table, man, is very, very valuable. And I'm specifically talking about one person I'm comparing him to. I'm talking about Jameis Winston, man.
Come on,
I'm talking about Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? Man. If we compare the two, of course they bring 2 different things.
Hold on, man. Let me give some context.
Go ahead.
To what Chop is trying to mislead you guys on right now.
Go ahead.
Because I want to tell you right now the incredible leadership, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 rushes for 50 yards, 179 yard total yards in this game, man. And Chop wants y'all to believe that he was out there looking like Big Josh, putting the show on his shoulders.
That is not. See,
carrying the team, inspiring everybody to play beyond their ability, inspiring everybody to play beyond their means. He's an inspiration. Everybody look to Marcus Mariota to find, get up and go get it. And come on, man, stop it, man. He's a cog in a machine that fights hard, man. He ain't no more, no less than anybody else around him on that team, man. And you know it damn well.
I tell you what, Willie Jack, I'll take 179 yards
in a dub
and 2 touchdowns over 300 yards and 4 interceptions any day of the week. Any day.
Hey, that's fair.
Any day of the week. That's all I'm saying, bro.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying though, bro. Hey, you gotta be careful because that was it. That performance. Well, he got a dub, man. I ain't gonna think too much. He got a dub.
All right. Well, all right, Willie Jack. What's up, man? Should I go and bust him over the head, Willie Jack, with this next game, man? Should we go ahead?
Come on with it.
All right, man. Well, let's go on to this next game, man. Let's talk about one of the games of the week. This is my big dog, my dog Willie Jack's game of the week this week. Let's go to Kansas City, man, where we got Buffalo visiting Kansas City. I know he gonna talk about his boy Big Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Big Josh Allen. So what's up, man? Talk to us about what happened in this game, man. Talk to
Hey, man, you can't. First of all, you can't just disrespect my dog like that. And I wasn't ready for that voice. Is that the Josh Allen voice?
I don't know what it was, man. It just sounded like something you'd be saying.
Let me tell y'all about Big Josh, man.
Talk to us.
Went on the road in Kansas City, looking for his get back, and didn't leave there without it, man. But honestly, man, this game gave me, it really gave me it really gave me everything I was looking for. I wanted to see it be competitive. I wanted to see both teams go back and forth, and I wanted to see both the primetime players be the guys that stand up and make the plays, or make the plays for the team. And for the most part, we got that. And then honestly, it came down to who made the big mistake. And in this game, it was the big mistakes were made by the hometown kid. It was Patrick Mahomes. And so now the interception at the end of the game, which actually sealed the game, you're pressing, you are down. Now, mind you, there was still time. I think it was still three, maybe even 4 minutes in the game. So they weren't like necessarily up against the clock, but you are driving to try to go down and get in position, and he throws that pick. That's not the one I'm talking about. The pick in the end zone, 3rd and goal from like the 6-yard line. He's booting. He's doing his Mahomes magic. He's delaying. And then he tries to force one into, was that Valdez Scantling? I think he tries to force it into Valdez Scantling right down the right sideline. And throws it into double coverage. Kaiir Elam, the rookie Kaiir Elam from Florida, he ends up getting the interception. But I want to say, was that Poyer over there? It was double coverage either way. So just an ill-advised throw. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of Jameis Winston, an ill-advised throw. You know what I'm saying? So it's a throw you can't make. And not to say that decided the game, but in a game that was, what was the final score of that game? Actually, what, 24-20. So it was a one-score game. And that's 7 points that came off the board. Now, let's say, devil's advocate, that he doesn't make that throw. He throws it into the 3rd row. They live to play another down. They kick a field goal. Well, then you can say, well, Willie, if they get the 3 there, they lose 24-23, assuming everything plays out. Yeah, it is what it is. But at that point in the game, we don't know that's coming. And so, like I said, you can't take points off the games in these premium primetime matchups. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that luxury or that extra space or cushion to take points off the field or to give one away like that when you're going against Big Josh and them guys, or guys like Big Josh. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, man, other than that, now here's the thing as well. I don't want to not acknowledge this. Kansas City secondary was beat up. So they had, both starting corners were rookies, or maybe one of the starting corners and one of the safeties were rookies. I want to say there was 2 rookies starting in the secondary. And one of those guys specifically, boy, number 23 got picked on a little bit, man. Number 23 got took up top a couple times, man. Stephon Diggs got him up the right sideline. And I think the Gabe Davis long touchdown was also up that right sideline on 23. And so,
hey, I'm going to tell you like this, man. As a DB, as a former DB, right? It's nothing more disrespectful than you knowing an offense is coming at you.
Man, yeah.
It's nothing more disrespectful than that. On top of that, you got to have some sort of, we talk about onions all the time, Willie Jack. Because it's like this. It's like, can't nobody help you but you on that island. You know what I'm saying? You know they coming at you, and the only person that can help you is you. So you got to step up in coverage. You got to cover this guy in front of you. You got to read the routes and do everything that you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody that can help you. Even if it is in cover 2, there's still a large amount of area in on the field that you have to cover by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you got that's a huge amount of disrespect to know, hey man, they coming at you. I know they coming at me. I got to step up and make some plays. You know what I'm saying? That takes a little bit of that dog mentality. You got to have that, man, to do some of those things. A couple of the comments one of the comments I really wanted to touch on, because I felt like it was a good one that I wanted to
the one from Skinny,
gonna kind of go off of. Yeah, that Skinny said. He said Bills stamped themselves as a top dog in the AFC. That one right there was exactly what I felt after this particular game, man. They stamped themselves. Of course, even before this game, I kind of felt like, hey, they were pretty much the top dog over there, and probably maybe even the top dog in the league. If not, you know what I'm saying? If you ask some people say the Eagles, whatever. But in my opinion, you looking at the Bills, man. The Bills are the top team right now. You know what I'm saying? We 6 weeks in. Willie Jack is loving this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, open your ears up real wide.
Well, no, I was waiting for you to say Willie told you. That's what I was waiting. Somebody hashtag Willie told you in the chat, man. Because
slow your roll. It's week 6. I mean, it's going to week 7. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Hey, man. It was a few teams it was in a couple teams that's been considered top team. Anyway, but They did. They stamped themselves as a top team by winning this game, man. Very tough game. One thing I do like too, and this is the one thing I was talking about with the Chiefs defense a few weeks ago, is that everybody just always assume they always assume that the Chiefs defense is weak and they suck and they're not good and so on and so forth, right? But they have the ability to change up their game plan to still make you have to work. Like, this wasn't a Buffalo Bills versus, I'm sorry, Willie Jack, but the Steelers game. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen didn't run up the score like you would see him do against certain teams. Like, he even ran up the score against the Rams week 1. You know what I'm saying? I throw our zip out there too. Like, he can run up the score, especially if you have a weak defense. He can run up that score easy. But the Chiefs, what they made him do was work for everything, move methodically down the field. But he can do that. You know what I'm saying? And he can do that. And he did that time and time again throughout this game, which is the reason why you see 300 some yards, 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And they actually ran the ball a lot more, which I love to see. 17 rushes by Devin Singletary, man. So it was a well-rounded game by this team, man. And I really liked it. And they showed that they can not only play the fast game and the explosive game, but also the methodical game too. So I really like that.
Yeah, and exactly right, man. And I agree with you said as well, especially with the amount of carries that Devin Singletary had. And just like you said, it's refreshing to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because we know somebody gonna get him. And if it ain't gonna be Devin Singletary, it's gonna be Big Josh. You know what I'm saying? So getting 17 catches from Devin, like you said, from Singletary, having them take that stress off Big Josh, definitely big. And then letting him, you know what I'm saying, go to work, man, doing what he had to do. Another couple comments here, man, real quick. Our dog Skinny in the building, man. Real deal STL Sports, as always, man. He said MVS has some key drops. He thinks that Scott Moore should see the field more. Now, I was a huge Scott Moore guy coming in, and you know what? Chop was a fan of him as well. And so we were definitely fans of coming in. But I'm not gonna lie, man. Scott Moore he's had kind of a little bit of a rough start. I think he had a key fumble. I think he muffed a kickoff or a punt. It might have just been a game or just a game ago or just a game or two ago. So he hasn't been without blemish as well, is the only thing I would say. And so, and also, like I said, being a young guy, still getting himself acclimated to the league, you know what I'm saying, right, versus MVS, who I guess can be considered their high value free agent addition this offseason. So I don't necessarily know if you're going to pull away MVS snaps for Scott Moore. Or at least not at this time. I think Scott Moore still has. I'm not opposed to him getting more looks and more touches, but I don't know if necessarily I want him. I don't want to sub. I don't want to pull MVS for him. If anything, man, I think Nicole Hardeman. He's been there long enough. If it ain't happening, it ain't gonna happen, big dog. I want Scott Moore getting any and all of Nicole Hardeman's touches. If it's me,
for sure. All right, Willie Jack. On to the next one, man. We got another big game, which was my game of the week. All right, we had Dallas go to Philadelphia, man, and of course Philadelphia comes away with this W, man, and they leave, you know, with their victory, you know, in Philadelphia, 26-17. All right, now I'm about to start something new, Willie Jack. You wouldn't expect this. Willie ain't know this, y'all. I'm throwing it on him today. You know what I'm saying? This is just what it is. But I'm about to start a new segment. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and apologize again to the Philadelphia Eagles fan. But I'm going to start a new segment, man. And this segment is called, Boy, You Was Tripping. You know what I'm saying? This segment is called, Boy, You Was Tripping. You right? And I'm referring to myself in a sense, okay? And I ain't going to give it away. I'm going to let y'all hear it yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I know what's coming.
Out my own mouth. I'm going to let y'all hear it yourself out my own mouth. Now, first and foremost, excuse the footage. You know what I'm saying? This was back in our Facebook days. This is before we went to YouTube. This is when we were still in the basement, before we went to the penthouse. You know what I'm saying? We were still in the basement, so excuse the footage and the views of it. But hey, just listen to what I was saying, man. And hey, once we get done, we can all see it together, man. Boy, you was tripping. Here we go, man, real quick. All right, man. Well, let me go and move on to my second one, man. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I've been hinting at this, you know what I'm saying, all off season, ever since you started with the AJ Brown move. I might as well kind of piggyback off of that. And I'm gonna say it like this: Gardner Minshew, he'll become a starter by week 6 of the season. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. Week 6. All right. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I don't think Hurts is a guy. You know.
Hey.
Let me talk, Willie. Let me talk. Look, man.
Please do, because that
Look.
didn't age well.
Hey, it didn't age well at all. We after week 6, and Hurts still might be in the MVP conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So look, I'm gonna say this to all my Philly fans. My fault. I apologize. But hey, the segment was called Bold Predictions. To my defense, it was called Bold Predictions, man. You can't come soft with a bold prediction, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You know what I'm saying? Willie, we can say it together, man. Boy,
Hey,
you
boy,
was tripping.
Hey, for sure.
Boy,
That's
you was
a fact.
tripping.
That's
You
a
know what
fact,
I'm
though.
saying?
Hey, that's a
Hey.
fact, though, boy. Hey,
Hey,
they
I'm gonna
went
call
gave you
myself
real
out
in
in
the
this one,
building.
man. And Jalen Hurts came. He did his thing. They fought real hard. That defense looks real nice, and they go ahead and beat Dallas. The only other thing I want to say about this game too, man, is for everybody that was still talking about, you know what I'm saying, is Dak coming back? You know what I'm saying, or is this Cooper Rush's team? Hey, man, it's Dak's team. All right, it's Dak's team. He had to play full quarters in that game, and he couldn't play full quarters in the game to beat a big time team. So yeah, they're going to get Dak. Dak gonna be back next week. So expect the Cowboys to try to get a little bit of a lift. You know what I'm saying, when he comes back into that lineup.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And honestly, yeah, just like you said, man, he had a chance to make it a little interesting. Now, even before this game, I would say last week's game. I think last week's game, if there was gonna be any kind of inkling, like, man, hold on, man. I think last week's game, even though they won, his performance was definitely below the line or subpar. And then, yeah, you come back, you got a division rival. Now they were on the road. Yeah, they were in Philly. And so that's still going to be a tough place to win regardless. But, you can lose and then you can lose. How did you perform when you lost? And it was ugly ball out there, man. So the one that should hurt the most, the last intercept, I don't know if it's the second or the third. The deep shot he tried to throw on the left sideline and just didn't get nothing on it. And I think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson ended up picking that one off. That's the one, too. It was like, yeah, man, hang it up, man. Yeah, go on, hang it up, man. Go on and hang it up. And you know what, man? His performance was so bad, it almost makes me wonder. Somebody get to that boy. Like, look, man, you can't be out here shining on Dak like this, man. Like, we can't be out here going 6-0 with Dak gone, man. Dak got 243 million reasons why we need him to get back here, so you got to cool out a little bit, man. Then he went out there throwing ducks. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. But just like my dog Chop said, man, Dak is going to be back. And then, we'll see how they go from there. Now, here's a question for you, I guess. With the Eagles now, the Eagles now have they're 6-0. They got a one game lead in the division on the Giants. Now, I'm sure we'll get to them a little later. But here's my question for you, my dog. With Dak coming back now, what's your Cowboy outlook? Do they come back and make a run at this thing against the Eagles, or at the Eagles for the top of the division, or do they finish or stay third behind your Giants? Or what do you think, man? How do you think this team looks?
Yeah, I like how you threw that in there. Third behind who?
Come on, man. It's the worst 5-1 team in history of the league.
Hey, no, you know what? No, we get there. Don't even sweat it. But you know what? I'm looking at. I just put up their schedule, right? So I think they can still hang in here, right? I don't expect anybody to go undefeated. Let's just say that, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect anybody to go undefeated. I don't expect the Eagles to go undefeated. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at this Dallas schedule specifically. They got Detroit next at home, the Bears at home next. You know what I'm saying? They go see the Packers who are not playing very well. They go face a Vikings team. Now, that game will probably be a little bit tough, especially with the way that the Vikings are playing right now. Then they got to see the Giants. You know what I'm saying? So, and then after that, their schedule is still a little on a slimmer side. You got the Texans, the Colts, the Jaguars. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they got the Commanders in their home stretch too. So, looking at the Cowboys schedule, they definitely have an opportunity.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, I heard 6-7 very winnable games. You know what I'm saying? Right there. And this is now, mind you, this is a team that they're 4-2 now. Is that they're 4-2?
Yeah, 4-2 right now.
Okay, so 6-7 of those that you just rattled off sound like. If you had to call it one way or the other, you probably call them dubs. You know what I'm saying? So, let's say if we give them 6-7, that's 10-11. So 10-11, man. This still a playoff quality team.
For sure. In order for them not to be in that conversation or be in that mix, Eagles still got to keep playing. They still got to keep playing their ball, keep doing their thing, and and hold off the Cowboys. But the Cowboys got some work to do, man. They got some work to do because it's gonna be it's still gonna be some sliding because you still gotta play. Those divisional teams. You know what I'm saying? Got those divisional matchups. Probably the team in the division that that they'll probably sweep is the Washington team. So. Hey, those are the games that they got to come and play, but they still got.
No, I think that Vikings game is the one out of the ones you listed. That Vikings game is the one I think that sounded most interesting to me because still, even as well as the Vikings are playing, and like I said, I think the record is a little ahead of the overall team. You know what I'm saying? The record's 5-1, I believe. I think the record may be a little ahead of how I feel about them, but they are still playing good and playing well. Sure. But that's the one I think I want to see because that's what I think when you was naming those, that's like 3-4 games up the road. So that's 3-4 games. By 3-4 games, I expect Dak to be like reacclimated or resettled back in after coming off a long break. He's had 2-3, like I said, games to get himself kind of back in the game shape and back, just back in the mix. And so then that style of matchup, especially assuming that Minnesota stays on course, not to say they'll go undefeated, but I think that's going to be a very key matchup when it does happen. And then also it might let us know like which one of those guys are for real. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one that stood out to me.
For sure.
Oh, and I want to shout out my dog Skinny, man. This is a good comment, man, because I know we did a lot of talk about, man, Cooper's Cowboys, man, the Cooper Rush, and then how he kind of peed the bed a little bit here these last 2 weeks, this last week especially. But my dog Skinny, man, Real Deal STL Sports, always in the building. He summed it up perfectly, man. We got to commend Cooper Rush for holding that ship together and doing a very serviceable job. And now you turn it back over to Dak. And what Cooper Rush did is exactly what that is, you can't draw it up any better. The boy went 4-1 when the starter went down.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And there's just not a lot of backups that can do what he did, regardless of everything else we say. And I'm sure we'll have fun with it going forward. But 5-1, or no, excuse me, 4-1, because Dak lost the first game against Tampa Bay. So 4-1 with your starter being out. Your starter comes back now 4-2 in a very competitive division, a very competitive division with the way Philly's playing, and then of course the Giants kind of coming out of left field on everybody. So to still be in that mix, like I said, hats off to Cooper Rush, very commendable job, man. I can't even talk, boy.
I got you with the Jack. Good. Yes. Hats off to him, man. On to this next game, Willie Jack, man. And this one right here, man, it's gonna raise some questions, man. We got some questions to get answered. We got the New York Jets. They went to Green Bay. They went to Lambeau Field, man. All that history there, man. They come away with the W. They still won. Actually, they ain't steal it. They took it. You know what I'm saying?
I like it better.
They didn't steal it. They took it because they got it right from their face. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a, hey, man, I'm going to get it while they ain't looking. No, it was a, hey, man, I'm going to grab this, bro. And I'm about to walk out this door, and you better not say nothing because if you do, I'm going to lay the backhand on you. The Jets win this game 27-10, man. They win this game 2017. Willie Jack, what was your take on this one, man?
No, and this for me, excuse me, man, there's real problems in Green Bay. Like I said, the more I watch Green Bay, boy, the more and more I am worried. And so this reminds me of a couple years ago where remember those memes that came out when Aaron Rodgers was in the press conference talking about like, man, y'all gotta relax, man. RELAX, man, y'all just gotta relax. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All of that. And then I think after that clip or meme or whatever, that interview, I think they did actually like hit a switch, and I want to say they ran off the next 7 or 8 games. You know,
they ran off 8. Aaron Rodgers caught fire, and it was like, whew,
there you go.
Yeah, my fault. We should have relaxed.
Exactly. You know, now I sound foolish, but now I'm not gonna lie, man. This seems like that moment, but at the same, converse to that situation, bro, ain't no reserves coming, ain't no help on the way. It's not something obvious that's missing that we just waiting to click or settle in or wait for the dust to settle. Like, no, I think this is it. I think this is what we got. Like, if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, I think this is what you got. This is the team you are. I don't think there's like another Mike's secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? Mike's secret sauce, shout out to Space Jam. It's not in the back room this time. Last time he passed around the water bottle, everybody told him it was MJ secret stuff, and everybody went crazy. I don't see that happening. I don't see that coming. And then just like you said, shout out to the Jets, man. For one, that young defense, hey man, that young defense is starting to. I'm telling you, they are taking respect. I say that they are taking boys' respect. Sauce is still. I mean, man, we say lockdown too much and we throw it around. Sauce is looking locked down, man. Now I'm not gonna say there's a stud receiver for the Packers, but this is just his body of work to this point. The boy's been legit. You know what I'm saying? As advertised, we've said that already on the show before. And honestly, man, the biggest thing is the Packers made the Jets made the bigger plays when the moments came. Now they both block a punt. Yeah, Green Bay blocked a punt in this game too. I'm trying to remember. They both blocked a punt. The Jets picked theirs up and returned it for a touchdown. I think the short white dude, man, on the Jets.
Barrios
takes a return to the crib, man, for like 20, 30 yards. And like I said, I mean, it wasn't I'd have loved for this to be an excellent quarterback duel where Zach Wilson is out there dueling and just slicing and dicing and just going back and forth with Rodgers. That's not what we got. But no, man, the bigger question I would have is, man, is it time to really panic in Green Bay? And then also, man, how for real are these Jets? Those would be the two things I would ask you.
For sure. And I'm gonna say this, and I talked about this in Chopping Willie in the morning. That's why we asked y'all to tune in. I know y'all heard tonight, man. Tune in, Chopping Willie in the morning, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. on YouTube, man. Gotta tune in to us. We preview all the games, man. But when I talked about that, it was just that question. Like, all right, are the Jets really taking that step? You know what I'm saying? From being a bottom 3 team in the league for the last I don't know how many years to being a middle of the pack team, to a team that could possibly be in a wild card or maybe even, a playoff team. Can they be competitive consistently going forward? That was one of the things that I asked, and they came out and they showed it. They showed that they could be. Now, since we have a lot of recency bias, I see that a lot when I be talking to people about football, man. It's a lot of recency bias, and they think about, what just happened, what just happened. Just yesterday or a couple weeks ago, or maybe just last year, and that's what they roll off of to make their statements. This is the type of play, the exact type of play that we've seen before from Aaron Rodgers when they went to go draft Jordan Love. Right? A lot of people forget, but don't forget, this was a similar type of performances, man. Similar type of performances that we've seen from Aaron Rodgers that made him go get that draft. People start getting upset and so on and so forth. And then, of course, after that, Aaron Rodgers comes out, he wins the MVP. Now it's looking like it's the coaches and everybody else's fault. But this is the play we've been put out on the field. You know what I'm saying? So if this is what we put on the field, we trying to win. I'm not going to be stuck in this mediocre world. We're trying to get better. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's looking like right now. Aaron Rodgers is not playing his best football, holding on to the ball a long time. And like I said, this is exactly what we saw, man, before. When Devontae Adams, he got hurt. He didn't play a full season. And Randall Cobb was in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have any weapons. And this is what we saw from this particular team. The same type of offense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they are in trouble. I want to see them get better, see them change some things. And, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with Green Bay. And for the Jets, they not only blocked the punt, but they blocked the field goal too. So that special teams was playing ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like the Zach Wilson is just lighting it up. It's just the style and the way that they use all their players and all them skilled guys. And again, Breece Hall, man, he's looking like he's like I said before, he's looking like he's for real. You know what I'm saying? So he continues to ball out, and this Jets teams right now, they look very, very competitive, man. They look very, very competitive. And I want to see them continue to succeed, man. Continue to see some growth within this team. Are they ready for those big guys yet? I don't think so. I don't think they're quite ready for that. But they are, you know what I'm saying? They are taking those strides. They are taking steps in the right direction. So I'm excited to see, which direction this team is gonna go. Oh, and Robert Saleh earlier this year too, bring back a comment. He said, "Yep, we taking notes, man." He told y'all he was taking notes, and they coming out and they putting the names down. Like, you on the list, and they crossing them off. So there you go.
Whoa, big comment. Hey man, who got spicy in? Who got our dog Giant Skinny Water here talking spicy, man? Real DSTL Sports to the building, man. He said, hey, Breece Hall could be the best back in football. Hey man, say man. Look, I like him. I liked him out of Iowa State. I'm not gonna lie. I like Kenneth Walker. Yeah, that's the same class. Yeah, they both were. I like Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State.
Who also looked good Sunday. Oh,
no, for sure. I think I had Kenneth Walker number 1 for me coming in. Then I had Breece Hall 2 out of Iowa State. But I don't know, man. It's because here's the thing, Skinny. The boys only started 2 games. He wasn't a starter until Yeah, this his second game starting, right? Because I think no, you know what? I'm not even sure if he started the Pittsburgh game against us because they played us in Pittsburgh last week.
They was doing the probably first 2 or 3 weeks they was doing more of a committee, but then it was like, all right, Breece Hall, it's time. Hey man, I'm sorry, Michael Carter, man, Breece Hall is the guy, and they still using Carter a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to spell Breece Hall, but it's the Breece Hall show now.
No, exactly. Yeah, they
the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they try to let Carter run in the early going. And he's the guy there, so I can respect it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready to go there, man. There's still a couple guys at the top, man. That's still doing their thing.
No, it's only one. It's only one. We're gonna talk about it in a minute.
No, it's still a couple guys at the top. Yeah, it's still a couple guys at the top. But now, one thing I did want to say, in fairness to A-Rod that last time, well, I think. No. I'm gonna leave that where it's at. You leave where it's at.
Leave where it's at.
Leave that where it's at. I don't want to take it back. Now let's go for it. Oh, real quick though, I am gonna shout out. So I'm not gonna get into that. I am gonna shout out, man. Y'all see the movement? Y'all see the movement in the chat, man. Free TP, man. Y'all see what's going on? Man. I see y'all in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, boys.
Hey, that game was a perfect example why you need both of them, man. A perfect example why you need both. But here we go. On to the next. And speaking of best running back in the league, you know what I'm saying? I think it's about that time. We go ahead and start and spice this thing up. I told y'all I was getting spicy this past week, and y'all thought I was gonna talk bad about myself without bigging myself up at the same time. What y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, boy, you was tripping. Yes, I was tripping. But you know what else? That boy was in his bag. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the other segment, Willie Jack. That boy was in his bag. It's either boy you tripping or that.
I'm gonna be a regular on that then. Oh, I'm gonna be a regular on that segment. That's for sure.
You gonna be a regular? You gonna be a regular? Okay, we're gonna see. I got my receipts, so I got your back, brother. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna have it queued up when it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna talk to y'all, man, because boy, I was in my bag. Let's talk about this Baltimore and New York Giants game. Let's get to it. So, as I said before, and let me give y'all the score first. I'm sorry, I didn't even have it pulled up. I ain't even have my score ready. The boy, I was excited. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But the Giants win this game 24-20 over the Ravens. All right. And like I said before, hey, I was talking a little bit about this game, man. And I went ahead and called the upset. I already said it. I said the Giants was going to come away with this W in this particular game. And if y'all don't believe me, you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't believe me, then you know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Roll the bean footage. You gonna roll that beautiful bean footage?
you know it. You know it, sir. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and show y'all a little something, man. And we're gonna do it like this. Said I like to say, hey man, I'm going upset. I'm going upset this week, man, in this particular game. I say Saquon, they gonna ride him, man, and he gonna run all over this Baltimore defense, man. We're gonna see some stuff that's gonna be different. That New York crowd is gonna be jumping. They got a 4-1 team right now. You know what I'm saying? They playing some solid ball. They rallying behind Brian Daboll, man, and they gonna do their thing again today, man. So I got them feeding Saquon Barkley. He's touching the ball no less than 30 times today between the passing and the running game. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be all over the field, and I think Wandale Robinson makes a couple key plays in this game to possibly come away with this W. And this time, I know we got to go on the other side with Baltimore in their kicking game. This time, we're going to see the other side of the ball, man. The kicker from the Giants kicking the ball with the game-winning field goal, man. Got the final score 23-20. New York Giants beat Baltimore. Big upset. Let's get spicy, baby. Let's get spicy.
That sounds good.
That's all I had to
say. Hey, now let me give you your flies on this.
Okay, my fault. Go ahead.
Let me give your flowers on this one. Because I was watching that damn game, and I was as soon as Justin Tucker missed that kick, I'm like, I'll be damn. Chop didn't really jinx Justin Tucker, his dog. He's missing field goals inside of 70. What did Chop do to this? What did Chop do to Justin Tucker? And then when I seen damn Wandale Moore get in the end zone, I knew he was going to be unbearable. I knew then. When Wandale scored and Justin Tucker missed that kick, I was like, oh, here he go. Here he go. Here you go. Now I got to deal with this. But hey, you called that one to a T though, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. You called that one to a T.
And the other part of it too, I said final score 23-20.
Hey,
Willie Jack was the final score of this game, dog.
Hey, 24-20, bro. You did your thing.
I was a point out. Now listen, man. I know I made a lot of predictions in that particular game, man, and a few of them was off. That's cool. But hey, you go to the ceiling. I ain't going at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hey, that's what happened. But all in all, though, to really sum this up, man. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I'm gonna talk about the Giants, and I'm gonna hit Baltimore. As far as the Giants, I gotta give it to them, man. I gotta give it to them, man. They legit. You know what I'm saying? They legit. They continuing to move up the rankings. Like beforehand, Willie Jack, I can say like, yeah, I feel you, Willie. Like they are the worst 4-1 team in the league. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only two. It was only how many? About four 4-1 teams. Out of all those 4-1 teams, they all played each other. I probably would have picked the Giants to lose against each of the other 4-1 teams. So I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? But then they come back. 95-1. They go again and beat Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? That's not a easy matchup, man. And they in Baltimore. So for me, it's like, hey, man, I gotta get to them. Maybe
that went in New York,
huh?
That went in New York. No, they was in New York.
Yeah, they were in. I'm sorry, my bad. So yeah, they was in New York, but still at the same time, it's like that's a tough team. That's a tough team to beat. And then it looked like Baltimore was gonna end up cruising away. They went up 20-10 in the fourth quarter with about 12 minutes to go. And it wasn't Saquon Barkley this time. Saquon Barkley had an all right day, but it was Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was the guy that came. He was making some key throws, you know what I'm saying, to some of those key players and to touchdowns to who knows. You know what I'm saying? We don't know those guys. And he made the right plays and the correct plays for them guys to come away with the W in this particular game. On the Baltimore side of things, I said it and I'm going to say it again, man. Lamar is looking like regular Lamar again. We had 3 games of MVP Lamar. Hey. Now we just had 3 games of regular Lamar. Now, even in those regular games, man, he got 1 W, you know what I'm saying, against Cincinnati, but he's 1-2 in the last 3 games. And honestly, the defense now. It ain't the defense no more.
No, and it's fair. It's fair to say, man, that in those losses, man. Well, I guess namely or more so the Buffalo game, but you can turn to a key turnover by Lamar himself being like one of the key factors in the loss. I mean, now turnovers are always going to be important, you know what I'm saying? But no, man, you can specifically point to errors or plays made just on his behalf, man. So I hate to see it because I want to see him. I hate and love to see it. I ain't gonna go that far. I ain't gonna say I hate to see it. I want to see Lamar get paid, but I don't want to see the Ravens do well. So I don't know how to judge. I don't know how to sum that up. But no, man. Like I said, kudos to what you did. And I will say this though, man. Kenyon Drake had a day. You know what I'm saying? And so just like you said, man, Kenyon Drake was having a very big day on the ground. They do go up. You're right. It was 20-10. They do go 20-10. And honestly, at that point, 10-point lead. Baltimore don't want to do nothing but run the game anyway. At that point, you expect that they'll salt the game away. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the case, man. So that's a kudos to the Giants. That's a kudos to Brian Daboll. That's a kudos to Daniel Jones. That's a kudos to your dog, man, Saquon Barkley. And I'm gonna say this as well, man. I ain't forgot to bet. I ain't reneged on the bet. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get them push-ups posted to the group, man. I'm gonna get them push-ups posted to the group. I want y'all to know how close it was. The prediction was I thought Lamar would outrush. I said Lamar's gonna outrush Saquon in this game. In the early parts of the game, he definitely did. But I think the final tally, man, I think Saquon finished with like 82, 83 yards. And I think Lamar finished with like 75.
77 and 83.
77. 6 yards. It was right there, 6 yards. But hey, deal's a deal, man. So y'all be checking for the bean footage in the group, man. I
appreciate that, man. Hey, man, just thank me, man. It's just a free workout. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, for sure.
That's all it is.
I ain't right, but you did your thing with that. That boy called out a Wan'Dale Robinson touchdown. Even when you said it, I was like, Wendy Robinson? What? And then before you know it, boy, hey, shout out to my dog Chop, man.
It was at that moment Willie knew.
Hey, I knew I messed up.
Chop was gonna be tripping the next episode. He knew.
Oh, I knew, bro. Yeah, because when Justin Tucker missed that kick and then Wan'Dale Robinson scored, I said, oh, hell no. Oh man, like this is what we're doing. Yeah.
Nah,
Shout out to you,
man.
my dog.
It is what it is. But hey, Willie Jack, I think it's about that time, man. We went through a couple of those big games. Now it's time to talk to him, man. It's time to pay those bills, man. Let them know what's going on, bro.
Come on, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Today's episode of Let the Film Speak brought to you by your dogs, Chop Willie, man. Brought to you by the sponsorship, man. The three amigos, man, ain't gonna never change up. They ain't went nowhere, man. That's like, that, share, and subscribe. It's 3 the hard way. It's a 3-piece spicy. It's burger, fries, and a drink. Peanut butter, jelly, and bread. I don't know what else you want. Kool-Aid, water, and sugar. 3 of them together go together oh so nice. Like, share, subscribe. Type it with 3 amigos. Now, we tell you every week. I ain't gonna stop telling you, so I'm gonna tell you again. It's like, share, subscribe by the 3 amigos, but it is a 4-part process, my dog. First, you gotta highlight the 3 amigos. Like, share, subscribe. We can't never forget that, man. Then you gotta tell a friend. Then you got to tell your friend to tell a friend. Then you got to double back. You got to tell your friend's friend to tell his partner as well. Bring everybody on down to Let the Field Speak. Come in here and holler at your dogs, man. Chop it up. You know what I'm saying? With your dogs, Chop Willie. Every now and again, Chop might tell y'all something that makes sense. It actually come true. And then there you have it. You know what I'm saying? Then you just got to live with it when it happens. Then you got to do push-ups in the group in front of everybody. But it's all good. Right back, as always, to the regularly scheduled programming, man. So here we go.
All right, man. And I'm going to start it back up from the top, Willie Jack, man. You know how we do this, man. Let's go to Cleveland, where the Patriots go see them, man, and they come away with this W 38-15. And I'm going to say this, man. Mac Jones better get healthy soon.
Hey. Exactly right, bro. That's the same way I was going with that.
So look, it started off like this, and I ain't going to lie. I don't know if anybody else felt like this, right? It started off like this, and I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I'm apologize to him right now, Mr. Bailey Zappi. I apologize to you for this. But this is just what it was, man. The first game he played when he came in, you know, after Brian Hoyer got hurt, you know what? I was like, yeah, they won. You know what I'm saying? Bill Belichick did his thing, and I don't know who the third string quarterback was, you know, but you know, he a third string quarterback, so he probably won't be out there too much longer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really need to get to know him as much. You know what I'm saying? It sounds bad.
I don't waste time remembering his name. I feel you.
It sound bad. That's why I'm apologizing, man, because I feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we had a second game, and I'm like, what's this kid's name again? What school he go to? Where he come from? What he do?
Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky.
Where is West Kentucky?
He broke Joe Burrow's record in college. Oh, he threw for the most. Dang. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, so why ain't nobody else, you know, see what was going on here and think at least take a chance on it? Like, you don't just go around breaking records like that and just, you know what I'm saying, just go on all the way under the radar, because he was all the way under the radar. That was under the radar. You know what I'm saying?
Was he a 7th round pick? I don't think he went to 7. Was he like a 5th round pick?
I had to look and see which round pick he was, but you don't, ain't too many guys like that. You know what I'm saying? They go like that. So I said all to say I apologize to you, sir, and you look damn good watching you in this particular game.
He really did.
I'm talking about from the comfort in your pocket, and it's like when I watched him and I started going back and watching this Western Kentucky film, it looked exactly the same. And it's crazy. I'm not comparing skill level. I'm not going that far. It's only 2 games in. So I'm just saying.
You right crazy. Come on with it.
But it's only one. But you know how Tom Brady dropped back in the pocket, right? And he listen to what I'm saying. See, this is what I'm saying.
Man, I thought out of everywhere you could have went, I didn't expect you to go to Tom, man. All right, go ahead.
Listen, I'm not talking about the skill level. That's why I put the caveat on there. Yeah. But you know how when Tom Brady dropped back and he don't move it, you know, everybody else have a little foot movement. Tom Brady will sit still in the pocket. He won't move his feet when he gets to his drop, and he'll scan the field. Bailey Zappi will do something very similar. Like he'll drop back and he'll sit and he'll scan the field. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. Not that he has the same skill level or anything like that, but just his stature just in the pocket. But watching him and watching everything he did, man, the way he was going through his progression, I was like, he's playing like a veteran. Especially when I come off a game when I'm watching Denver and the Chargers and I'm watching Russell Wilson in the pocket after the one guy almost get off of a block to get to the sack. He like this, and I'm watching this third string quarterback rookie just sit back there like, he ain't
real comfortable.
He ain't. Oh, there's my guy. And he hitting guys on the money, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What's that? You know what I'm saying? He looked real comfortable, so I really loved how he looked. The Patriots had a lot of balance in this particular game, and to be honest, I didn't expect this, man. I didn't expect them to come put it on Cleveland like that. You know what I'm saying? So even in the first half, the game was close, but that second half, that's when the Patriots started to stretch their lead, man. They started to stretch it out a little bit more, and even with the Cleveland Browns running the ball decent, they had to go away from there early. You know what I'm saying? They had to force Brissett to throw that ball a lot more often in the second half and rely on him. And of course, Brissett couldn't answer the call. So,
and that's
that was the story of that particular game.
No, and that's exactly what I was going to say, man. Just like you said, you just hit the nail right on the head. That's the same thing I was going to say. Cleveland was kind of forced. Well, just like you said, no, you actually summed that up perfectly, man. I ain't got too much to add to that. Close game starting out, then the Patriots pulled away in the second half. But just like you said, man, Cleveland was forced to kind of get away from the thing they want to do best, which is feed Nick Chubb. Just like I think he 12 for roughly 60. It was a pretty decent game, I guess, stat wise and average wise. But that's a game where you probably want him to be closer to 30 than closer to 15 carries. Then, you know what I'm saying? And then just like you were saying, man, Jacoby Brissett, man, this is your time to shine, man. They needed you to get out there and air that thing out. And I think he was it two? I think he threw 2 picks.
Yeah, I think he threw 2 interceptions.
Okay, yeah, I think he threw 2 interceptions, man. It just wasn't up to the task. But no, just like you said, man. Shout out to Bailey Zeppi out of West Kentucky's finest. You understand me? So shout out to you, sir. And the one thing I will say, because I was going to point this out as well, I wasn't going to go as far as to say, you know what I'm saying, reminiscent of Tom TB12 Brady in the pocket, but I was impressed with his pocket presence, though, man. Specifically, now, Myles Garrett, I think, did have a sack in this game. No, he might have had 2 sacks in this game. It's like a sack or 2 in this game, but there was tons of times where, just like you said, man, he's dropped back, and he's got dead feet. The one I'm thinking of specifically, he ended up he's dropping back. He's got flat feet, and Myles Garrett is coming, and I'm like, oh god, okay, here we go, strip stack, or you know what I'm saying, party's over. And no, just like you said, man, just subtle, boom, dip, step up a little bit. Oh, okay, I got you, left sideline. You know what I'm saying, like 25-yard pass. So no, it was impressive to see. You know what I'm saying, his pocket awareness or pocket presence, especially like you said, a young guy, rookie guy, third string guy out of Western Kentucky. So just like you said, man, hey Mac Jones, boy, you better holler at TB12's dietitian. You better holler at
boy.
Coach, man, you better, hey man, you gotta do something, get back. Cause we seen this. So we seen this story before. A starter has lost their job in New England before, and 6 Super Bowls later, that guy didn't have a job no more. So don't play around, boy. Yeah, don't play around.
Hey, that boy better get healthy, man.
For sure.
That boy better get healthy. On to the next game, Willie Jack, man. We had the Jaguars go to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts win this game 34-27. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one?
Hey, man, the return of the Mac. You know what I'm saying? Not the Mac. The return of the Mac. Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan came out, man, and easily had his best day. Matter of fact, let me get him up. Or you got his numbers?
Yeah, I got the numbers right here, man. 42 of 58. Woo! That's a lot of passes. 42 of 58. That's a lot of 89 yards and 3 touchdowns, man. No interceptions.
Ooh-wee. See, this is the guy that I've been waiting to see, man. Because like I said, honestly, that Atlanta team when Matt Ryan was on it, man, it was a poor team, but Matt can still sling it in my mind. And then 5 games to the season, I look like a fool. But then week number 6, comes around. Now, I hate it had to be on a week where I picked Jacksonville because they've been spanking them boys not even earlier this year, but even into last year. And I seen a stat that said like Jacksonville's won like 7 out of the last 8 of those matchups or something like that. I didn't even realize or didn't put it together that they had been really having those boys' numbers so extended like that. But say all that to say, man, return of the Matt, man. Matt Ryan went out there slinging that thing, doing his thing. Big day also for Michael Pittman, 13 for 134. It wasn't a big ground day, but I do want to shout out the running back who was who started or got the bulk of the carries, Deion Jackson. That boy ran with some thump, boy. Hey, that boy ran with some thump. He ended up getting in the end zone in the 2 runs, the run right before the touchdown score, and then the touchdown score. He took those through somebody's chest. He went through somebody's chest, especially on that. I think it was number 5. Oh, was that Gilly? Number 5, Gilmore, number 5 on the Colts. Now that I think, but I'm pretty sure he went through Gilmore's face mask on that touchdown, and on the run before that, boy, he took somebody else's lunch as well, right in the B-gap, boy, and punished somebody. So shout out to you, sir. Like I said, we always like to give some flags and shout out. I don't know if he had anything in the air. Oh man, I'm tripping. 10 receptions, 79 yards to go along with 12 carries and 42 yards in that memorable touchdown run that I just shouted out to myself. Shout out to those Colts, man, for finally getting or at least exercising that demon that is the Jacksonville Jaguars, boy, they've been putting on them for so long. And then shout out to Matt Ryan, man, for finally finding his way back to the sun, man. 58 attempts, almost 400 yards, no turnovers, boy. You can't ask for much better than that. And to defeat a bitter division rival. So well done.
For sure. Couple shout outs real quick, Willie Jack, man. I looked on Facebook. I want to see who was commenting. Jeff commenting on here. Jeff, man, if you don't get your butt on over here to YouTube, man, get your butt on over here, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the video, man. You one of the day one games. You've been here since the beginning,
man. We expect better from you, Jeff.
Man, Jeff, get on over here. Another shout out. Coach Ford was in the building, man. He was dropping all the dimes earlier, man. He said,
Joe Ford was in here, man. I didn't even know Joe Ford was in here, man.
Hey, look, Coach Ford say, boy, you tripping. It's brought to you by the accounting firm of one Thomas Walker. Boy, you
hey, it was funny. I thought Tom said that when I seen it when it was about Tom. I thought Tom put that. Hey, shout out to Joe Ford, man. Shout out to Coach Ford. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Coach Ford, you too, man. Get on over here to YouTube,
get over
man.
to YouTube,
get on. We moved up. We moving on up, Coach Ford, man. Come on over here, man. Join us, man. Now. And Jeff say he in here, man. That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. I appreciate you, bro, tuning on in and checking us out. But a little bit more into that game, Willie Jack. I agree with everything you pretty much said. The only thing that I would say, man, is that at first I thought this was going to be a game similar to the first one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jaguars won 24-0, you know, and it seemed like every time Travis Etienne touched the ball, it was at least for about 30, 40 yards. You know what I'm saying? he was having a solid day so far. And then I also saw in the fourth quarter after Matt Ryan got his team together, I saw Trevor Lawrence put a drive together in the fourth quarter to put his team ahead. He did that. I was like, okay, all right, I see you. Good. I want to see more of that. He put a drive together, you know, punch the ball in. They go up ahead, and then Matt Ryan just, he turned back the time just a little bit, man. Hit him with about 16 seconds left on the clock. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, he had to do it anyway. Nyheim Hines, and Jonathan Taylor both, you know what I'm saying, were out this game. So he had to throw that ball. He had to put it in the air to get his game, to put his team up there. And they were pretty much rushing with Jackson and Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay, the third string running back, who Willie Jack once told me that Phillip Lindsay was running better than Joe Mixon.
What I say, good?
Hey, don't worry about it.
At the time,
we're gonna move on, Willie. I ain't gonna put you out
there, man. It was a conversation. It was a conversation at the time. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. On to the next game, Willie Jack, man. Let's talk about Minnesota going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. All right. And the final score of this game, by the way, was I got you just a second. My fault, y'all. My fault. I apologize. But final score, man, Vikings win this one 24-16. And this was a game where I felt like the playmakers of the Miami Dolphins could put them in this game. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong. This was a close game towards the end, but it came down to key mistakes. And then one was made by Jalen Waddle. You know, as Miami was driving, Jalen Waddle catches the pass across the middle, fumbles it. Minnesota picks it up. And that's 2 weeks in a row, man. Minnesota pretty much seals the deal by getting a fumble. The first one was the week before with Dantzler. He actually pulled the ball away from an offensive guy, and they sealed the deal like that. But this one, they tackled Jalen Waddle coming across the middle, pick up the ball, pick up the fumble, and that pretty much seals the game from there. Teddy Bridgewater didn't play this entire game. They started off with the third string quarterback. Now, here's my thing too.
That's what I was going to ask you about. Yeah,
here's my thing too. Tua clear concussion protocol. Teddy Bridgewater was healthy. He was there. Why aren't any one of them starting? If my starter is healthy, they playing. And to me, this is exactly what happens when you start getting timid. Now Mike Daniels is coaching a little timid now. You know what I'm saying? It's not your job to worry about, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. It's sort of
hold on. Slow down now. Slow down and take a minute before you say something crazy.
Put it like this. You can get fired for not winning games. We've seen it plenty of times. You're trying to win games. This game could very well be the difference between you making the playoffs and you just missing the playoffs. You need this game. Y'all not a team right now that's just soaring. Now y'all had y'all little hot moments or whatever, but y'all need these games. Things are gonna get tough down the road, down the stretch. So if my starting quarterback is cleared and he's ready to go and he's cleared concussion protocol, I'm not starting my third string quarterback in this game. I don't know about you, Willie Jack. I'm not.
Yeah, let me tag in, man, so I can stay here. First off, man, here at Look the Films, people want to say we are fully and undividedly in favor of player safety, player health, because y'all ain't gonna act like y'all remember Tua, man, spaced out throwing those gang signs, man. So
I remember.
So let's be careful. Now that's what gets so dangerous when you say stuff like that, now, Chop, because that's exactly the rhetoric that was used when they put him back in the game last time. Oh, he cleared protocol, throw him back out there. Oh, he cleared protocol, let him start this next week. And then he gets and then the boy, you know what I'm saying, he gang banging. But here's the thing about that. Hold on, let me finish.
He gang.
I think I'm not upset about them. Now, I don't understand what happened between Skylar Thompson and Teddy. That's the one that I'm like, Now, I think it is understandable that with everything that we saw Tua go through on TV, man, if you give him that extra week, like, I'm not going to fault them for taking it slow with Tua. Because let's not forget, when it first happened, the immediate response from some of the media outlets was whether there was discussions about whether or not Tua should play the rest of this year. Like, that was a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of how gruesome, you know what I'm saying, his traumatic brain injury, his TBI, that's what a concussion is, a traumatic brain injury. How gruesome his traumatic brain injury was for 20 million people to see on live television. You know what I'm saying? So there were those talks in play. So the fact that Tua doesn't get the nod, I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm not going to hold it against them because with everything that they went through with Tua. I think more importantly, like you were saying, what's the deal with Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater? Now, I'm not a huge proponent of Teddy Bridgewater. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that's more so a more apt question than the Tua one. And actually, when Skylar went down or went out, what was that? What was that injury? Do you remember?
I don't know exactly what it was.
Okay, yeah.
It may have been a finger. I think it may have been a finger or something. I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, just like you said, man, this kind of came down. Big turnover by Jalen Waddle, man. Timely play by Minnesota's defense. Did they actually run it back or are they just getting good position? No, they ran it. I can't remember if they ran it back or not. But either way, definitely was a damning play. The Dolphins had something cooking on that drive, though. You know what I'm saying? They get the big play, the big catch and run by Waddle. They're, I think, on the plus side of midfield. They weren't necessarily in the red zone, but they're driving. They've got something cooking, like I said. And then you get that fumble, and then they turn it back. Other than that, man, highlight play I want to talk about on this one, Dalvin Cook, man. I've been telling y'all for a little while, I like watching Dalvin Cook run. In the prototypical Dalvin Cook play, that fit the touchdown run, it wasn't a great running day for Dalvin Cook. Now, the stats are boosted by the 50-yard touchdown run, of course, but Dalvin play, that run by Dalvin Cook is exactly what I say when I tell y'all this boy got some of the sweetest feet in the game, man. He's got excellent vision. He's got excellent feet, and that run was it. Like, if you find the clip, or I should have found the clip, but if y'all go back and watch the run, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The boy just looks smooth. You know what I'm saying? And I can't tell when he changed gears, but he ran 50 yards and nobody caught him. You know what I'm saying? And it just all looked smooth. I love the little, man, he had like a little subtle little, almost like a little subtle little, just kind of like, let me scoot out the way. Boom, you missed. Then he had like a little really short little jump cut. The boy made a jump cut. It looked like he jump cut 3 inches, broke somebody else off, and then from there, house call. Boom, I'm gone. And just never lost this. Looked like his face is just like, yeah, I'll tell you, that boy nice, man. I want to say all that. And then also, it's a homecoming for him. I think they might have said that might have been his first time playing in Florida because he's from Florida, went to Florida State. I think it might have been his first time or maybe the first time in some years that he got to go back to the crib and then play and show out, man, in a dub. And then, got one, broke one off, a long one as well. So shout out to you, Dalvin Cook. But, yeah, I had to shout my dog out, bro. That was beautiful. I watched it back like 4 times, bro.
That was a nice run, very nice run. But I'm gonna rewind just for a second, Willie Jack, and I don't want to stay on it too long, so I don't want to get bogged down on this game. But I do want to revisit the concussion talk with Tua, because the thing that I feel is, yeah, he was back the next game, but he would have got a concussion either way it went, with the way that he was slammed in and his head hit off the ground. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't get tackled again, if he didn't get tackled like that in that game, we're not having the same conversation about it. Now, granted, they still was going to investigate everything and how everything went down in regards to that first concussion and why he was able to play in that same game. But we're not having the same conversation about why did he play again and so on and so forth. Like he should have never been in the game. Like healthy, if he never got a concussion that year, he probably was gonna get one on that tackle. His head hit the ground very hard. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just more so of the football guys, man. Whenever things aren't done in the correct way or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? That's when things start to happen. The same way.
The ball. Oh, boy, you just said ball don't lie. The ball don't lie, so Tua had to pay the price. hey, I don't disagree.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely, bro. I tell you, I think most guys that like play ball, I think most guys that play ball across any sport, ball don't lie is sacred. Like that's gospel.
Yeah, it's like man. if you commit a penalty on third down and it pushes them to the first down and they end up scoring on their drive, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. It's like, hey, you committed the penalty. And then, sure enough, now they drive down the field and score the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? On the third down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, now here's a comment from my dog Jeff, man. Day one gang in the building, man. He said this time is different because he actually had time to recover. Well, see, this is what we're ignoring though, because you can recover from a concussion in the same game, bro. That's what we've said before. Because a concussion, a TBI head injury, it's not like an ACL. Like once you injure an ACL, you're done. You know, there's nothing you can do besides repair it surgically. Head injuries aren't like that. That's why for years, guys like Mike Webster, you know what I'm saying, the guy who kind of started or was the launching point for this whole CTE, what we know now as CTE, this all stems from Mike Webster. He's an all 100 member. He's an all NFL 100 member, which means they compiled the 100 best players in the league, and he's on that list. He was the center for the Steelers from the 70s during those championship runs and then even into the 80s. So a tremendous player, and ends up he committed suicide and etc. and had his brain donated to medical etc. And I want to say at the time of his death he was like let's say he was I'm go with me because I don't know exactly. Let's say he was roughly a 55-year-old man. His brain was decayed like a 90-year-old man, and that's what set off the kind of the what we know now as CTE and all these ramifications. So the appearance of being okay after sustaining the head injury or the concussion, well, you could be okay in 30 minutes. And exactly why when we saw Tua get the first concussion and his legs didn't work, he came back in that game and played well, because you are able to, I guess, snap out of the effects of the injury, but the effects of it are a lot more subtle in the way they affect you long term. And also how susceptible you are to the second one now, to the third one, to the fourth one now, to etc. So it really does. It's a multiplier. So it's not like 2 sprained ankles is just 2 sprained ankles. Once your first sprained ankle heals, then the ankles heal. It's good to go. Concussions and head injuries, TBIs, it's not like that. So once your brain is concussed, once your brain slams against the inside of your skull, which may as well be made of concrete, you know what I'm saying? Like that, your brain is bruised. And so, yeah, you'll shake it off. You can play, you got your bell rung, etc. But it's still a tremendous, it's still the risk involved after that point is super, it's a lot deeper than just, well, he's fine now, he can play. Because like I said, there's a lot of subtle and intangible things that go along with that, that we have to be on the lookout for.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this question. We'll look at one more question for you in regards to that, and then we go ahead and move on. Why this week upcoming, and like when do you play them then? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if the concussion protocol is the thing, if that's what we're going off. Like when do you play them? Like when if you're not gonna go off of that, then what are you gonna do? What was your determining factor in saying like, all right, I'm not gonna play you this week, I'm gonna play you next week, or I'm not gonna play you the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna play you the week after that? Like
that is a very, very, very good question, Chop. And I'm glad you asked it. That was a very good question because I didn't even think about that. Here's what I would say, because for one, the concussion protocol in the NFL, it's not it's not medical science. Like, this is what the NFL now, they outsourced, of course. You know what I mean? They outsourced and they brought in and they consulted with neurologists across the country, I'm sure, or others regarded as reputable, you know what I'm saying, know-it-alls in the field. And then they came up with this procedure. But this isn't law. Like, this isn't a medical doctrine that's saying, yeah, after a week you're ready to play football again. This is the NFL putting into place, like I said, something in place, because previously, as we know, there was nothing at all in place. You could play 3 snaps after a concussion. Wave a little smelling salt in your face, shoot a little water in your face. Somebody might even smack in your helmet and tell you, wake up, shake your head, get the cobwebs out, like you ain't just get your brain knocked off. You know what I'm saying? And then you went back out there. So all this stuff right here, in the way we do it, the way we address it, it's all fluid, and we're learning on the go. And so I think with him having the 2 back-to-back, and the severity of the apparent 2, because every concussion doesn't cause you to lose what they're now referring to as gross motor function. You know what I'm saying? The boy's legs didn't work when he stood up, and then he gets knocked out, and he's banging. He's a banger. You know what I'm saying? He's throwing up signs and can't move, and he's seized up. Like, that's the and we laugh, man. It's not funny, but we laugh. But we have to really take into account how serious that is. And so let's say if the standard protocol for the average return to concussion, most guys miss a game. Some guys, it's not as common, but some guys do miss 2. And so if a regular or standard concussion, if that return timetable is 1 to 2, then I'm not at all upset that 2 is to 3, because he needs something. We can't risk, because what are we risking for a 24? No, how old is Tua? Is he 25 yet? Is he? I don't know if he's 25. Let's say a 25-year-old man who, in these last 2 games, for one, he could have lost the use of that leg that just didn't work for like 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? He could have lost the use of those arms that froze up throwing up gang signs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to kind of keep in mind the bigger picture. He's gonna play football for 15 years if he's lucky. You know what I'm saying? If he's lucky, he's gonna play football for 15 years. If he's average, he's going to live 70. You dig what I'm saying? And so we got to keep the main thing. And the main thing has to be the safety of the players. So if it's one more week to make sure that he's not on TV, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, looking the way he looked, then you can't be too safe when it was as gruesome as it appeared for Tua. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the 3 weeks at all.
Okay, gotcha. Well, let's go ahead and move on, Willie Jack. I like the way you summed that up, man. Definitely, we are for player safety. I know we laugh and joke and we talk different things, man. We definitely are for player safety, you know. But just to clear it up, you know, for people out there that want to know, man, for you guys that want to listen to it, they want to know what's going on and know how things are looked at, man. Appreciate that, Willie Jack. Now, let's move on to the next game, man. We had Cincinnati. They go to New Orleans, man, to take on the Saints, and Cincinnati goes to New Orleans and comes away with a victory, man. They win this one 30-26. And I'm gonna say this, Willie Jack, it was a tough game, man. Tough game. They went back and forth, and Andy Dalton has actually been playing some really good ball. You know what I'm saying? What? Let me hold on. Let me stop. Not really good ball, but some good ball as far as, you know, coming in as a backup and holding that team together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's not going out there making mistakes. He's not, you know, throwing turnovers. He's not costing his team games, you know, things like that. He's done everything in his power to keep him in games, especially being without, you know, a lot of his weapons. He was without his top 3 receivers, you know, this particular week. Now, I thought Jameis Winston was coming back, but he didn't end up coming back in this particular game. So, you know, it was a lot more of Alvin Kamara in this particular game, and he had another pretty solid game with 6 catches for 25 and 99 yards on the ground, pretty much 100 yards on the ground. But Joe Burrow, man, Joe Burrow was the guy that came in and put everything together for his offense, and we finally seen Jamar Chase break through, man. And this one thing about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is about 200, maybe 205 max. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. 6 foot. Mm-hmm. But when you watch him, when he catches the ball after the catch, even when he's going up and against contact, when he's catching the ball, he has some very strong hands. He almost looked like he's about 230 out there, 6'4", 230. The way he catches the ball with strength, you know what I'm saying, with contact on players on his back. He made a couple catches with guys all over his back, man. And even when he runs the ball, it's almost like it's certain things you see, like I can watch Nick Chubb run, right? We both like Nick Chubb. We both been huge fans of Nick Chubb since he came into the league. And I do think he is the like as far as running the ball, the best pure runner in the league. But if you watch him and he gets contacted, you will never see him go backwards on contact ever. You know what I'm saying? No matter if a guy hitting him from the side, straight up head to head, you won't see Chubb go backwards on contact. And most of the time when guys hit him from the side, it's almost like they slide down. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get an extra 2-3 yards after the contact. That's what it looks like when you see some of those corners, trying to tackle Jamar Chase after he catches the ball. You know what I'm saying? And he does a lot of that this game. You know what I'm saying? Catching the ball like that, and he has the big catch with about a little bit over a minute left in the game, to pretty much seal the deal. And he had a big day, man. 7 catches, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much took over this game. This is the Jamar Chase we've seen all last year. And if my guy, Brother Red, was in here, man, Brother Red Jinxon, man, he talked about Jamar Chase, man. He said he wasn't top. We talked about him being top 3 last year. You know what I'm saying? But he said he's top 3. Where is he at? You know what I'm saying? But here you go, Brother Red.
Top 5, yeah.
If you see it later, Brother Red, he right in here, man. There you go. So Jamar Chase, big game. Joe Burrow, a big game. They definitely needed that to come away with this W, man, and they do that.
No, and this game for me, I think Chop summed it up pretty good. This game for me, man, it was the tale of 2 halves. So the first half of that game, Saints come out and they didn't run away with it, but I felt like they were more so in control of the game, and Cincinnati's kind of playing catch up. And then just like you said, man, especially in that second half, man, it turned into kind of the Jamar Chase show. And then just like you said, man, the one to put it away, I don't even know how long the catch was. It was like a 15-yard catch, and then he shakes the DB, whatever DB was covering him, misplays the ball, doesn't secure the tackle. Tyrann Mathieu gets over there, can't bring him down, and then 60 yards later, it's a house call. And that's the thing about Jamar Chase, man. And we talked about it even last year, or I talked about it last year in his rookie campaign. Is for just like Chop just told y'all, I thought Jamar Chase was like Andre Johnson size. Andre Johnson was like 6'2", 225. Well, no, Andre Johnson was 6'2", 230. I didn't necessarily think it was 230, but I thought he was like Dez Bryant. 6'2", closer to 220,
215, 220, something like that.
Yeah, like I thought he was kind of like a bigger body, kind of physical guy, and then he gets to the combine, he measures 6 foot flat, 200 pounds flat, ran 4.3. He just doesn't jump at you as like that style of explosive athlete, but he is. And so, and it shows up, like you said. So it does show up. Shout out to our dog Jeff, man. He would, and I feel like I saw Jeff say this. I don't know if it was
he said it
in our group. Okay, I didn't know if it was in our group or if I seen it on his page or something, but I feel like I did see him say that. Yeah, they got to be more creative with the ways they try to get him the ball, because just like Jeff is saying, and I co-sign as well with, I agree, is like it looks a little. You've got to find something else. It can't just be like 3 or 4 tunnel screens and just wanting him to make something happen. But you see why they do that, because just like on that play that went for 60, that wasn't a 60-yard touchdown. It was a 10-yard catch, and he took it 60. You know what I'm saying? Broke 2 tackles and took it 60. So, but yeah, they've definitely got to find a way to I guess make life easier on themselves by making life easier for him. Like I said, because he's kind of the guy you need him to go. Like Joe Burrow has to have somewhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Burrow can get it done, but he's got to have a running mate. And so when his running mate's not running, you know what I'm saying? When the running mate's not going, man, it's ugly football for those for the Bengals. And so, like I said, but when both those guys are clicking, man, it's a hard team to beat. Then our dog Jeff in here, man. Now we should caution y'all. Jeff is the Eagles fan. Said AJ Brown may be a little better at with contact after the catch. No, I'll go there. Yeah, AJ Brown is one of the premier guys at contact after the catch for sure.
For sure. And I agree with that too. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is, we talking about his stature in comparison to what he does after the catch. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown is 6'1", 225, 226.
It was built like a mini. If DK Metcalf wasn't so big and in the same draft with AJ Brown, y'all remember that picture where AJ Brown was shredded and big and flexing with DK? We don't even appreciate how big AJ Brown was because he was standing next to the Rock. You know what I'm saying? He was standing next to Dwayne Johnson. You know, that's how DK was looking. But no, AJ Brown is a big boy. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So it ain't AJ Brown. Well, I get AJ Brown there, but we talking about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase 6 foot 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a whole 25 pounds AJ Brown got on that board.
Yeah, AJ probably got a cool 20 on him for sure. He probably got a cool 20 on him.
Yeah. On to the next one, Willie Jack, and I know you're excited to talk about this one, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the lob. You know what I'm saying? I'm D Wade coming on a fast break. I'm throwing that lob up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like this.
You already running down the court, good.
I'm already running down the court because I already know you're gonna slam that thing, man. We had Tampa Bay go to Pittsburgh, man. And them boys, the Steelers came away with that W, man. They win this one 20-18. Talk to him, Willie. Talk to him, bro.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I can't even front like I seen it coming, man. I didn't have a Chop moment. You know what I'm saying? It was painful even predicting the game when I was talking to Chop, man. I think I had Tampa Bay winning 28-20, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think that 20 I gave my Steelers was just because, man, I didn't want it to be a 2-touchdown blowout. We just got spanked by Big Josh of the Bills, man. So I gave us a 20.
Well, they got 20.
I gave us a generous 20, dog. And what do? We get 20, but we hold them to 18, man. Gotta put this one for sure. Now, here's one thing I will say. Mike T, this is why I love Mike T, man. Mike Tyler, Coach Tyler, man. Because you can see they had something on their mind. You know what I'm saying? Mike T showed up. Mike T and the team showed up, and definitely you could tell we were looking for that issue, man. So we come out, and rookie Kenny Pickett, this is his first official start because he came in the second half of the Jets game. So his first official start, and it's against TB12, man, to go himself, Tom Brady. And what do, bro? We come out airing it out 3 straight passes. Thankfully for us, 3 straight completions, and I think that really kind of helped just get the offensives just confidence going. Not that they were big plays or anything of the sort, but man, offense has been so few and so far between that them 3 little passes, they went for probably about 15 combined yards, bro. Kind of like really kind of help get us in a nice little groove. The other thing I want to point out is we're driving, we get down in the obvious field goal range. I want to say we're somewhere around the 30, and it's 4th down, and Mike T don't even hesitate. Nah, we rolling. You know what I'm saying? Now, we came out here to prove a point. And me and Chop have talked about that type of attitude and mindset before that we wanted to see from teams like the Texans, teams like like what the Jets or the Lions used to be, where if you're a team that appears to be on the bottom or towards the bottom of the league, like, what are you playing conservative for? Like, you need to go out there and take wins. You know what I'm saying? Like we've talked about it before. We're like, we don't want to see guys punting the ball and you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the turning point where you've got to make a stand in your season, and that's just what Mike T and the boys did. We came out more so aggressively on offense, passing the ball, putting it in the hands of the rookie. We get stopped on that 4th down. We make the concerted effort. Now we rolling, win, lose, or draw right here. We get that 4th down. We get a touchdown on that drive, and so that really kind of helps us set the tone. Hey, Kenny Pickett, Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Hey, there you go. That's Kenny Trio, man. We taking that back from old boy that had that Texas A&M. That's Kenny Trio. But now, speaking of, unfortunate for us, man, Kenny does leave this game with concussion. I'll tell you, boy, they pass around concussions like Skittles, boy, because now we got him. And that's the thing on that one. I didn't think the hit looked overly gruesome. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I guess what it was the secondary impact. So it wasn't necessarily the hit or the initial, but his head does catch the ground. And I think I had to see it on the replay before I even caught it. Because when he came out, I thought maybe it was something to do with his arm or his shoulder. Because it looks like he was throwing the ball as he got hit. And it was ended up being kind of like a wobbler, but it was a completion to Deontay Johnson for 25 yards or so on the right sideline. And then I think it came down. Yeah, it came back because of a holding penalty. And then I watch on replay, and the guy who committed the hold is also the guy who got Kenny Pickett hit. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to hold. Like, if you're going to foul. I hate when somebody's driving the lane and you foul them and they still get the layup or the dunk. If you're going to foul.
What's the purpose
of
fouling? If you're going
to hold. Don't have hold, still get the penalty, and get your quarterback hurt, Kevin Dotson. But whatever. So now we get Mighty Mitch to come into the game, man. And what do you know, bro? I ain't going to lie, Mitch stepped up, man. I think Mitch stepped up. He did everything that we could have asked him to do. This Mitch that came in and played this game will probably still be starting if this is the guy that played all year long. And not that even he played great, but it was competent. It was just competent football. He got Chase Claypool going. So it's first time Chase Claypool's had a decent day in a while. I think 7 or 8 catches for roughly 90 yards. Some big catches as well. A very big catch up the left sideline, man, that he still gets in bounds. That touchdown pass that Mitch threw him in a little bit of traffic, well, he gunned that one in there. You know what I'm saying? An impressive throw there. Man, the defense really, I think, deserves all the kudos and all the credit. Our secondary was super beat up. We were without I think we were still without 3 starters. Yeah, 3 starters out in the secondary, and these guys still step up and play big. Devin Bush in the middle, our linebacker who we didn't pick up his 5th-year option. We tried to replace him a couple times, and he stepped up, had a very big game, had a very big 2-point pass conversion that ended up saving and salvaging the victory for us. And so, man, couldn't have been a bigger win for us. Couldn't have been a bigger win for the team. Couldn't have been a more timely win for us as well, because we lose this one, because this next stretch of games for us is rough. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find a way to get one in this mix, and I'm glad we got it against TB12. It's worth losing to the Jets last week to beat Tom Brady in the crib, right, knowing this is probably the last time we ever get to play Tom Brady again.
I feel that. That's well said, Willie Jack. Well said. And this is the kind of game that shows you or gives you a reason why. It's like Tomlin is that guy, man. Yeah, he's the guy you want to keep in that building until he retires. You want to keep Tomlin in that building. You without your top 3 corners and your safety, which is arguably, well, he's definitely your top 3 safety in the league right now. You without your top 3 corners and him. This is supposed to be, most people felt like it was going to be a field day. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? And I called out Godwin for being a player of the week and all that type of stuff. My performance.
Oh, you sure did, didn't you?
I did all of that. You know what I'm saying? I did all of that. And what did they do? They put together a game plan to slow that offense down. So big kudos to Mike Tomlin and what they did. But I'm gonna say this too, and I hate to do this off of the back of somebody's injury, but this is the difference in a quarterback who's starting and knows somebody is behind him waiting to come and playing a little bit scared versus a guy that comes in with nothing to lose because I'm the second string quarterback anyway.
Very good point, Chop.
And I think that's exactly what we saw from Mitch Trubisky. He comes in, he plays. He was playing with a level of confidence that we hadn't seen throughout the season yet. And yeah, he was hitting Claypool, man. Claypool came up big, making big catches off the sideline, and I think that was the difference in this victory, man. That he came in and playing that way.
No, for sure. That was a very good point what you just said, boy. That was you on the road today, boy, ain't you? That was a good point, yeah. And last thing, just co-signing that, man, but that was a very good dynamic, and I didn't even think of that because, like I said, some guys can't handle the pressure of knowing somebody sitting on their shoulder. Most starting quarterbacks can't. That's why we get into those discussions why most starting quarterbacks are trash because the starters can't handle the pressure of knowing that Drew, but you know what I'm saying? If you Drew Bledsoe, you don't want to know that Tom Brady's sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? If you're Joe Montana, you don't want to know that Steve Young is sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? So most quarterbacks do have that kind of, it is more of a delicate mind state there because everybody else is competing every single day. You know what I'm saying? Outside of your quarterback. So that's a very good point, bro. Good point.
For sure. On to the next one, Willie Jack, and let's touch on, let's go to LA, man, where we talk about the Rams. Carolina goes to LA to take on the Rams, and the Rams come away with the victory 24-10. And this game played out exactly as I expected, Willie Jack. You know, Rams defense played well. The offense still wasn't as smooth as I would like it to be in order for them to really compete. You know what I'm saying? But they came away with the W. You know what I'm saying? And I finally got to see what Robinson can bring to the table when you target the boy as much as he should be. Now, he only got 6 targets in this game. You know what I'm saying? But he was second in targets on this team, which is what he should be.
That was 5 more than he's averaged all season, it feel like. The boy was getting one. He was getting 1 look a game.
Man, 6 targets, 5 catches, only about 63 yards, something like that, and a touchdown. But you can see it, man. You see it. It comes off the screen when you watch him. The way he goes up and gets the ball, his get off of the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? He still has some key things that you can actually use. So use it. You know what I'm saying? So we finally see that. You know what I'm saying? He has a solid day and gets into the end zone. And on the other side of that, I'll say McCaffrey, man. He's starting to look like that old McCaffrey, man. The McCaffrey where you can say, man, hey, you can count on 100 yards from scrimmage every game from McCaffrey. If he's
boy, I was telling boys that he's good for 2. Any week he threatens 200 yards anytime that boy's on the field. I'm telling you. Either way.
Yeah. So he's starting to look like the old McCaffrey, man. He's coming in doing this thing and yeah, man. It's at least 100, 150 yards from scrimmage every game from a boy, you know what I'm saying, from Christian McCaffrey, you know what I'm saying, as long as he plays the whole game and they continue to get him the rock. Only had 13 carries this game, but caught the ball 7 times for 89 yards, man. So, man, a solid game for him, just under 150 yards. And that brings me to my next thing. The Carolina Panthers are actively listening to trades for McCaffrey, and the Rams are actively trying to trade Cam Akers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to hear Willie Jack.
Man, you ain't heard nothing, man.
Hey, I'm starting to hear the Rams. They interested in my boy over there in C-Mac. Hey, I used to talk to you about it. Hey, but your boy, I might become a C-Mac fan if they go.
Hey, I want y'all to remember everything he's ever said about C-Mac before this moment. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the boy gonna have a C-Mac jersey tomorrow. They let him announce he done got traded to the Rams, and then he gonna go out there going crazy. And then, boy, y'all gonna forget. Boy, I'm trying, man. I hope it don't happen, and I hope it happened because so I can tell y'all.
So let's clear this up. Let's clear this up, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I never said Christian McCaffrey was bad. I just said that he wasn't better than Saquon, and I'm still standing on that.
At the time you said it, that was a
Saquon had been hurt.
At the time you said it, you was hating though. At the time,
no, Saquon had been hurt, bro. I wasn't hating, dog.
It is what it is, man. But no, right, I mean, but no, y'all definitely need. Y'all definitely have room in that room in your running back room for sure. I think we already talked about the news where Cam Akers, he's no longer a part of that team. I mean, he's on the team, but he's off the team, so he's not going to suit up anymore. They'll see if somebody wants to trade for him. Like I said, I don't know why anybody would trade for him, but they'll see if anyone wants to trade for him. If not, I expect he'll get released sooner rather than later. And then, we'll see where he goes once the waivers clear. Other than that, man, ugly ball from the Panthers, man. PJ Washington was out there, man.
PJ Walker, I got you.
Oh, excuse me, yeah, PJ Walker, man, rough day at the office of him. I think I actually just had the stats up, and I think it was like 10 for 16 for 60 yards, 10 completions for 60 yards, or something crazy. No, maybe not. Yes, 10 for 60. Mind you, Christian McCaffrey had 89 receiving yards, and the starting quarterback threw 60 yards. So somebody do the math for me. But yeah, man, if you're the Panthers, man, you got one bright spot on this team. Please release him. Free C-Mac. Let C-Mac go find a home, man, and be a champion somewhere. And then y'all just blow that thing up, tear that thing down, and start fresh. One thing I do want to say as well, Steve Wilks. I am curious to see what he does with his time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was not Steve Wilks the quarterback or the coach in Arizona before Cliff Kingsbury got that job? Was that Steve Wilks? Because the guy in Arizona, it was a black coach in Arizona. For some reason, I want to say Steve Wilks, and I could be way off and way wrong, man. But are you checking that for me real quick?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He was, yeah, he was the Arizona Cardinals head coach in 2008.
Okay, yeah, there we go. And so there was a lot of people that had a bad taste in their mouth, and I was one of those guys as well, of course, because for one, we don't have enough black coaches, and I want to see all the black coaches we can get. You know what I'm saying? So he was a guy, he had the 1 year in Arizona, he gets fired, and not that it was a talented team or anything like that, but he gets fired because they had a chance to go get their guy, the guy they actually wanted in Cliff Kingsbury, and so they made a move. And really, I hated it when it happened because black coaches don't get enough of those opportunities, and to just kind of like just have one taken from you, because he didn't do anything to lose that job. You know what I'm saying? To have it taken from you, especially as hard as it was to get in a position to get that job, to actually get that job, and then, like I said, to have it just taken from you without cause or without the justification wasn't enough for me. You can say what you want to. They were trying to say he wasn't prepared. He didn't know how to handle himself as a head coach. Well, it just sounds like all the stuff that you hear the establishment say when they're ready to move on from you and get somebody else in there. Don't tell me what he did in 1 year with a very poor roster and then hold it against him, because that reputation could follow him now and prevent him from getting another look. You know what I'm saying? So he's the guy that gets to step up. I want to just see. I don't expect the Carolina Panthers to win a lot of games, but I do want to see them fight, man. I do want to see them, play hard for him because it's a guy that when the time comes back around, man, I hope he does well so that he puts himself in position to get another chance. Like I said, from that one that was taken from him, and then I think that move of Robbie Anderson that was squarely Wilks. Like Wilkes just said, they gave him the job right now. From all the accounts, Tepper, the owner from the Panthers, has told him, now that you sitting in that chair right now, so do what you run and handle the team as you want. And we've seen it. We've seen his imprint already. So he came in and announced himself with authority. Robbie Anderson, you on my sideline tripping? Guess what, big dog? Get on up out of here. Now, not to say Robbie Anderson is mad about that, because now he's, he doesn't lose anything being traded from the Panthers. Now he does go to the Cardinals, and so I'm sure we'll probably talk about how that affects with Hollywood Brown going down and now Robbie Anderson coming over. And so, but no, I just wanted to just shout out Steve Wilkes, man. I ain't forgot about you, dog, man. I'm glad you're back in the big seat. And like I said, I hope these Panthers do something, man, that to get you some buzz back going, man, and hopefully put you in position to get another opportunity.
Got you. And speaking of Robbie Anderson to the Cardinals, I think this is a good segue because now we can talk about the Cardinals and Seahawks game. Okay, so the Cardinals, they go to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Your boy Geno, you know what I'm saying? They right,
hey, big Geno.
Write him off. He ain't right back. You know,
he ain't right back though.
They come away with the victory in this game, man, and they win this one 19-9. Willie Jack, talk to me about this one, man.
Yeah, just like you said, man. Geno's looking good. Yeah, there's no other way. Now he didn't like light it up. He was 197 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not saying he lit it up statistically. But Geno, now he was drafted. He was the second. I remember Geno. I didn't like Geno coming into the draft. I'll tell you, he came out of West Virginia. I hated that offense. I hated that his stats. I made the argument. I argue with anybody. His stats were so inflated because this is where like that touch pass, the jet sweep touch pass is coming in effect. So he could touch pass to, was that Tavon Austin? That had to be Tavon Austin. He could touch pass to Tavon Austin. So it's essentially a reverse handoff. But then Tavon goes for 65 yards, and it felt like he had 2 of those touchdowns a game. Those count as passing yards when you touch pass instead of hand it off. And so the stats was inflated, etc. He was super cocky at the draft, just all that type of stuff. He was supposed to go to first, or he was slated to go in the first round. He ended up going to the second round that year to the Jets, and then it falls apart the Jets. And then, like I said, he bounces back. And so I am happy to see him doing well. I am happy to see him playing well. Kenneth Walker, the third man, the guy we were just talking about a little bit earlier. Boy, what's going on in that chat? You see what's going on?
Let's keep pushing, Willie Jack. Okay. Let's keep pushing, bro.
Yeah, man. So Kenneth Walker, the third man, he did have a pretty big day. He didn't hit 100, but right under 100 yards, 21 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown. Did have an explosive run, man, a 30-yard run or so. And so he's looking really good. He's the guy. I liked that draft pick when they made it because I liked his fit there. They want to be a team that runs the ball. I wasn't sure necessarily how I was going to play because at that time you had Chris Carson coming back from injury. You had Rashad Penny, who was coming back from having a very good close to that year before. And then now, of course, now we get to look in hindsight. It was a great pick because Chris Carson gets diagnosed with a career-ending injury right before the season. And then Rashad Penny, who was off to another good start this year, he has a season-ending injury as well. And so it very was, I guess, in hindsight, a very good and very timely pick, made by the Seahawks. But no, man, I'm curious to see, just like I was saying with the Jets, I feel the same way about these Seahawks, man. I want to see just how far they can take it. You know what I mean? I'm happy for Geno, who's found like a resurgence and a rebirth. And, man, I hope he runs it up, man. I hope he runs it up. So keep on doing your thing, Big Geno.
Gotcha. And a couple of things, man. Willie Jack, you pretty much summed this game up pretty well, man. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep it short and sweet with this one, man. Kenneth Walker, man. Kenneth Walker looked really, really good in this particular game. He ran the ball well. I think he carried it about 21 times this game for almost 100. He ran the ball very, very well in this game, and I love to see him doing that, filling in nicely for Rashad Penny. I think that when Rashad Penny comes back, man, it'll be a nice little could be a nice little 1-2 punch if Kenneth Walker doesn't take over this spot, man, because this could be a situation where Rashad Penny is gone after this particular season.
Well, that's going to say, don't forget, because this was a contract year for Rashad Penny. I think he's not under contract anymore. And now that you have Walker, I don't necessarily see them bringing him back. And I would think that Rashad Penny being in the committee like he was, and then finally kind of making it himself, I would think he's probably ready to go out and kind of strike out, start fresh, and be the unquestionable guy. Because I think coming back to Seattle with Kenneth Walker already looking the way he's looking, and he's the young high draft pick, I think that's his job for the future for sure.
For sure. So so we'll be looking into that. But one thing that surprised me in this game was the Seattle defense. The Seattle defense was nice in this game, man. They were all over Kyler Murray. They were all over that Cardinals offense, man, and they weren't able to do much. And maybe this is an example of a divisional matchup, man. And this is how these teams kind of play each other. It could be one of those situations, but overall, man, Seattle just dominated this particular game. Even though the score wasn't crazy, far apart in this particular game, it was one of those games that felt like Seattle's in control of this entire game, and they got this game and they running with it. So that's what it kind of felt like in this particular game. All right.
Yeah.
On to the last one, Willie Jack, and I guess we got to end it with a stinker, man. We got to end it with a stinker, with some boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? We had Denver. They go to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, and the Chargers come away with this W, 19-16. All right. And I'm just going to say it right now, man. I'm out on Denver. I'm out. I gave him chances. And let me clarify, because I don't want nobody come back and saying, man, you picked Denver. I thought you said you was out on Denver. No, they gonna win some games, and I'm gonna pick them in some situations, depending on what the situation is gonna be. But I'm out on them as far as me feeling like they were gonna be. Exactly.
Well, you went big on that one, boy.
I did. You know what I'm saying? I went big on that one. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I should have had that one pulled up, because I'd have had me again. Boy, you tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy, you tripping. So I'm out on them, man. I've seen enough, and this I tried to give Russell Wilson chances, and I watched him again, and I watched him a few times, but this particular game, man, it was like he was seeing ghosts. I talked about it a little bit earlier in this show, and it was like he would drop back, and guys wouldn't even beating the blocks all the way. He was looking for somewhere to go, somewhere to run, try to make an extra play. Man, sit tight. You know what I'm saying? Get you some Zappy. You know what I'm saying? Get you some Zappy in.
Hey, get you that Zappy.
Get you some of that Zappy, man. Sit tight in that pocket, man. Go through your reads, read the coverage, read and see what's going on, and hit your open receivers, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need to do. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying like that's an easy job. You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about who was one of the better QBs in the league, man. You were 200 and how many millions, Willie Jack?
243, boy.
He a $243 million guy, man. He's got to trust his offensive line. You know what I'm saying? He's got to trust everything he knows. You're absolutely right, Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Russ isn't trusting his mechanics or reading the defense. You're right. He's not doing that, and he just doesn't look comfortable in the pocket, man. He looks panicky. You know what I'm saying? Nathaniel Hackett. You know what I'm saying? He's a coach that doesn't coach, with a lot of those onions, man. But I will say one thing about this team. This defense is for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The one thing that I love in this game, right, is if you watch, every pass Herbert was completing, it was a guy coming ready to lay a thump on him, bringing that wood, bow, and they were coming up tackling every single play. Man, I don't care who you are. If you hit a team repeatedly like that every single play, I don't care about y'all catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? Y'all catching the ball short. But when y'all catch this ball, know you're getting punished. You know what I'm saying? So I need you to go back to this huddle and understand, like, is that 3 yards on that catch you about to have? Is it worth it?
Man,
is that 3 yards worth it? Is that 6 yards going to be worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Some of them shots, boy, make you come back and look at Russ the side. I like, hey, look, man, I caught that one. But I tell you what, boy, hey.
Yeah. So Herbert was completing those passes, but them boys from Denver was coming through, boy, and they was covering. You know what I'm saying? Mike Williams, he pretty much was gone. It was 10 on 10 because Mike Williams was over there with Patrick Surtain. You know what I'm saying? Getting his lunch ate. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Surtain was all in his business. He was in his wallet. Like, man, what kind of credit cards you got? Yeah, I mean, you only got Express, man. You ain't got no credit. Yeah. You ain't got no money. You don't carry no cash on you. He was all in that boy pockets, man. He was everywhere he went. You know what I'm saying? Mike Williams couldn't do nothing. So that's the positive I can say about Denver. And as far as, the Chargers, man, I'll just say that they came away with a W, but y'all need to show something. Y'all need to show more. Show some more improvement. If it wasn't for a muff punt, that game might have ended in the tie. You know what I'm saying? Because Herbert couldn't get much going. The pass rush was getting after him. You know what I'm saying? Mike Williams couldn't get nothing going. And, hey, that's just what it was. The game was that type of game. You know what I'm saying? It was a defensive game on one side of the ball and a terrible offensive game on the other side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it was just awful game, man. And Chargers end up coming away with a victory after a muff punt. You know what I'm saying? And they kicked that field goal to win it, man. And in overtime. So there you have it.
No, exactly. I'm not gonna say too much about this win because it was a boo-boo bowl. We already got that established. Now, one thing I do want to say, man, is your boy, Lil Josh, man, your boy Justin Herbert, boy. It's a little early. I'm not gonna say he's not regressing. I don't want to overdo it and say he's regressing, but I'm still not seeing. I'm not seeing enough of the special though. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand that Keenan Allen is out, and we could definitely see Keenan Allen's impact on this offense. They have not looked the same since he's been gone. You know what I'm saying? Without question, without doubt. You know what I'm saying? Mike Williams signed a contract extension, making him a $20 million man along with Keenan Allen. If I'm Keenan Allen, look, I ain't coming back till I get another $3 million, man. Because y'all can't do without me, bro. But my price went up. Because Keenan Allen being out of this offense, their offense is on par with the Broncos' offense now. And think about what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? When Keenan Allen's on this offense, that offense can compete with Kansas City. When Keenan Allen's in that offense can compete with Buffalo. Keenan Allen goes down and you struggling and scraping by again. Now, in fairness, like Chop was saying, Broncos defense is playing some ball. So that can't be discounted. But more so than just this game, but the Kansas City game, you know what I'm saying? Or just several of these games, man, that offense just hasn't looked at all as dynamic as we're accustomed to seeing. And so, yeah, man, like I was saying all last year, man, when we was talking about Justin Herbert, man, if you're going to be one of those guys, man, one of these guys, he's the guy that most people would say is, I guess, at the forefront of like his class. And so he's not in class with Patty and Josh Allen, but he's in class with Joe Burrow, Tua, and like those guys. All those guys kind of came in together. And so he was the guy that most people were kind of crowning as the top of that class, or the guy that's the most heralded or the most sought after, the guy who's predicted to be the Patty or the Big Josh of his group. And we haven't seen it, you know what I'm saying? So this is the perfect example to stand out and show your worth, because you don't have your guy. So now I need to see the special. Now this is exactly when you need to step up and be a difference maker, if that's the type of regard we're going to hold you in. And
I wish I had Ike Turner in here, man, because he got a nerve to write me, man. He had a nerve to write me on Facebook, man. I wish he was in here, man, so you can hear because your boy, this is the reason why. It's the reason why, man. He's not the best in the league, man. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
Oh, he did say that. Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah, he said Herbert's the best in the league. So, man, either way, man. We moving on from that game, man. Chargers end up squeaking out, coming away with this with a W, man, in the overtime. So, kudos to them. But Willie Jack, that's all week 6 games. Now week 7 is tomorrow, man. It starts tomorrow. Well, what are we? What's our record, Willie Jack, tomorrow? Starting week tomorrow.
Oh, hey, 0-0, boy. Hey. Hey, 0-0. Nah, hey, I'm 1-0. Hey, yeah, I'm taking that dub with me. I'm 1-0 now.
You want to know?
Hey, I'm 1-0.
Well, I guess we got one against Carolina, so I'm gonna take them with me too.
Yeah.
We want to know.
Well, you had a dub before that though. Well, no, it's different. Yeah, no, it's the same because we had a dub.
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. It's all
good. That's Kenny Pickett. I'm still giving that dub to Kenny Pickett, even though he didn't finish the game on winning. That's Kenny Pickett dub. We want to know what Kenny Pickett.
All right, bet. All right, we can do that. Yeah. But, man, we got a Thursday night game, man, and we got the New Orleans Saints. They go to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Willie Jack, who you got in this one, man? This is the return of DeAndre Hopkins, man.
Exactly.
DeAndre Hopkins, man. What you got in this one?
Yeah, now I am actually excited to see this game because I want to see how Hop looks. And so now, mind you, I am anticipating you got to get in game shape. I don't doubt that he's been working out and working his butt off. You know what I mean? And so I don't doubt that. But Chop can tell you, man, anybody who's ever played, man, there's something else, man. There's nothing like game shape. All the running in the summer don't mean nothing that first snap of the game. You know what I'm saying? That first snap of the season. And so I'm curious to see how he looks, how quickly he acclimates, how quickly he gets his feet back under him. And then also if his impact on this team and on this offense, because they also have been a team that's been kind of sputtering on offense outside of like random splash plays made by Kyler. You know what I'm saying? The 30-second scramble against the Raiders for a touchdown. He did that 3 times in that game. You know what I mean? So outside of stuff like that, it hasn't been a lot to write home about if you're a Cardinals fan. And so now that you do get Hop back, does that cure all the ills? Kind of almost similar to like what we were talking about with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Justin Herbert without Keenan Allen versus Justin Herbert with Keenan Allen. And so now we've seen Kyler with Hop They were 11-0. They lit up the league. They surprised a lot of boys, etc. Hop gets beat up, gets injured, and then he ends up losing the rest of that season. They have never looked the same since. And so now with him anticipated to be coming back 100% healthy, like how quickly does it take them to get that back going if they can get that back? And then also Robbie Anderson. I don't know. You know what? Is he going to be able to play this week? I don't even know if he's going to be active or if he's going to be able to play or how that's going to roll.
I'm not sure either. I would imagine he's not active. He probably takes some.
That's what I'm about to say. I think you have to.
If he does play, I would imagine he's going in for some deep balls. He's going in. He's going.
No, he ain't running nothing but go. Yeah, it just get in and go.
If he comes in, hey, line up on the slide on the right side. I need you to run this go. That's it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's all they're gonna ask him to do if he does play. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't. If I had to guess, I don't think
I would think he doesn't play. Here's a question for you real quick as well. Does Jameis start this? Is Jameis starting? Is he back officially?
That's what I was trying to look at too. I'm trying to figure out if he's going to play too. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to be playing this game, if he's going to be starting.
Okay. And then while you doing that, man, day one game, Jarrell back in here, man. He say back in this thing, man. Hey, we appreciate it, man. We know he had to get it in with the family, man. Hey, we appreciate you as always, my dog. Never too early or too late, man. While Chop's checking on me for Winston, man. Honestly, I'm still going to take the Saints in this. I don't trust the Cardinals, even at home, even with Hop coming back. I just can't. I just don't trust Cliff Kingsbury. And like I said, I like that Saints defense. I really do. I like Cam Jordan a lot. I like Marshawn Lattimore a lot. Chop can tell y'all that. That defense is still, I feel, one of the more talented units, top to bottom, in the league. And so I am wanting to see. I am want to see how Hop come back and how he looks. If I gotta give you a score on the road, Hop coming back, they will be juiced up. They will be fired up. So if New Orleans wins this one, it will be a dog fight. Give me 23-21 New Orleans on the road, squeaking one by. I think Arizona's going to come out and, just like I said, they're going to have a boost. They are going to play with a little more edge. New Orleans is coming off a tough defeat on a short week. Now, the Cardinals also coming off a loss on a short week as well, but they're at home. You know what I'm saying? So, even though it's a short week, they do have that benefit. New Orleans is still coming from, relatively speaking, the East Coast all the way out to, relatively speaking, the West Coast on the short week. And so there is still all of that. But I'm still going to take New Orleans because, like I said, man, I just can't trust Arizona. And I think New Orleans in that defense can carry the day. If Jameis is playing, man, I just need one or two, man. Just one or two, and they can get it done. 23-21. My dog Jeff in here, man. He ride. Oh, he got Cards 24-20. Okay, he's going the other way. 24-20 with the Cards. But I'm taking famous Jameis and those Saints, man. 23-21.
Got you. And I got a similar score as Jeff got, man. I got 24-21. I got the Cardinals. And I think this is going to be one of those games where the Cardinals, they ride Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is good for a few games where you can just ride his back. You know what I'm saying? Hop on his back, and he can kind of carry the victory with his legs and with his arms. I think this team has a little bit more energy with D-Hop back, and a lot of times he can, something like this can kind of rally a team and bring them together. I think this is what you see in this particular game with D-Hop coming back, and I think they do that. They do that in this particular game and come away with some W's. Now, the one thing about that too, Lattimore is going to be out. You know what I'm saying? They're the top corner. He's already listed as out this game. Of course, Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry is out again this week. Chris Olave it looks like he will be back, so expect him to be that number one receiver this week. And I just seen it, Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton. It'll be a game time decision as to which quarterback is actually going to start this game. So it's going to be a game time decision tomorrow. So we don't know as of right now who's going to play. So there's going to be. I'm going with Arizona in this particular game, man. I got them to do what they need to do to come away with this W. And this is one of those Thursday night games are weird, and I think we're gonna see some weird stuff in this.
You know what? Yeah, this is a Thursday game. I probably should have took the Cardinals because these Thursday games just been ugly. But I'm still take them Saints. But yeah, the fact that it's a Thursday night game, bro, this game could be 9-7 or it could be 48-46. Ain't no way to call it.
For sure. And then Dubs in the building, man. He come in, he asks us, man, do we want to do a show on Sunday? Of course, we got our Chop Willie stuff in the morning, man. But I don't know what time you doing stuff. We can talk about it off air, man. We could just
okay.
We can touch base, man, in one of the groups, and we can figure out, if that's something we can make happen, man. We know we would love to be involved and help people out, and not necessarily help people out like we anything like that, but just saying we love to be involved. you know what I'm saying?
We definitely want to, get involved with everybody. Now Sunday's a little tough now because now football Sunday is still sacred now around these parts. Boy, I sit in front of the couch, don't move now, boy. I say I need to know when we got to work out them details. We have to work out them details for sure.
Yeah, so we can definitely chat, Dubs, man. We got to chat, man, and maybe we can connect tomorrow. I know tonight I'm gonna be with the fam, so I probably won't be responding to anything tonight. But for sure, we can maybe talk tomorrow, maybe in the somewhere, and figure some stuff out. But other than that, Willie Jack, that's it, man. That's all of week 6. That's all a recap, man, and also we got that's the week 7 Thursday night game, man. We did the preview.
Hey, there it is, man. Big Dubs in the building, man. He said he's taking Zona as well on the Thursday night game. And then I seen a comment from who was it? I think Jeff, man. He had a very specific prediction for Kyler, man. So I wanted to see that because if it hits like this, boy, hey, I'm buying a Powerball ticket, man. Kyler, 24 for 31, 255, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and he's gonna kick a field goal too, bro. What you talking about?
Nah, he's saying that's how they're gonna get to 24. They're gonna kick a field goal.
Okay. I got you. Okay. Well, hey, man, there it is, man. That's it. That's all, man. Week 6 is in the books, man. As always, y'all know we appreciate all the love and support, man. Quick rundown, man. Shout out to the members, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Man, Real Deal STL Sports, our dog Skinny was in the building as always, man. Appreciate the love, my dog. Matter of fact, his homeboy, man, Kevin Wilkinson also came through and hollered at us, man. We appreciate the love. Big Dubs in the building, man. Shout out to our dog, man. Big Chef Dubs in the building, man. And who else I'm missing here? Our dog Coop came through. Our dog, my mom's came through, man. The fam, the home team, my mom's, my sister was in the building, man. Appreciate y'all as always. My fault, y'all. I'm scrolling. I'm trying to find you. I'm trying to find you, man. I'm trying to find you. Hold on. It was a big day today, man. I feel bad. I'm forgetting all. I'm missing all these names. Day one game. Jarrell was in the building as always, man. We appreciate the love and support, my dog. Isaiah Holmes came through and slid in here on us for a little quick minute, man. We appreciate that love.
Coach Ford came in.
Coach Ford, man. Coach Joe Ford was in the building today, man. Man, I'm trying to find y'all, man. Hey, y'all know what's going on, man. If I forgot to say your name, man, charge it to my head, man. Don't charge it to my heart. You know we thinking about you. Come on now. Hey, Wednesdays at 7, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Same thing. Ain't nothing changed, man. We don't worry about this on Wednesday, man, because at 7 o'clock, I ain't got nothing to do being here talking about with y'all, man. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, holler at your dogs, man. Sunday, Chop Willie in the morning, the Sunday preview show. We tell you all the time. I know you're going to watch NFL on ESPN. You're going to watch NFL on CBS. Yeah, that's cool. Come in here and tap in with your dogs on the top floor, man. Come in here and holler at your dogs in the penthouse, man. Sundays, 10 o'clock. We live, baby. And we in here giving it to you. Give it to you the best way we know how, man. Y'all already seen what my dog Chop did last week, man. Baltimore and New York in the Giants game. You can only get that in here on Sundays at 10 o'clock, man. So be back and tap in with us, man. Other than that, man, same old regular programming, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. We love and appreciate all the support as always, man. Can't do it without you. And we will see y'all next week, man. Peace.